Hello, timeless sagas enthusiasts. Today, we'll be diving into the fascinating history of the world's highest peak, Mount Everest. This colossal mountain, standing at 29,032 feet above sea level, has been a subject of fascination and inspiration for centuries. As we scale the heights of this towering giant, we'll uncover stories of triumph, tragedy, and unbreakable human spirit. But first, let's get to know the star of our story a little better. Mount Everest, or Sagarmatha in Nepali and Chomolungma in Tibetan, is part of the Great Himalayan Range, which spans across 5 countries: Bhutan, China, India, Nepal, and Pakistan. Interestingly, Mount Everest wasn't always known as the world's highest peak. It was only in 1856 that the British Great Trigonometrical Survey, led by Sir George Everest, identified the then unnamed Peak 15 as the tallest mountain. In honor of Sir George Everest, the peak was named Mount Everest in 1865. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's start our ascent. Our first stop, the early 20th century, when Mount Everest first captured the imagination of intrepid mountaineers. The British were the first to attempt an ascent in the 1920s, with George Mallory and Andrew Irvine famously disappearing during their 1924 expedition. To this day, mystery surrounds their fate. Did they reach the summit before succumbing to the mountain? Perhaps we'll never know. But their famous quote, "Because it's there," continues to inspire generations of climbers. Fast forward to 1953, when Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa from Nepal, made history by becoming the first confirmed climbers to stand on the summit of Mount Everest. Their extraordinary feat made them instant heroes, and their legacy continues to inspire countless climbers today. But let's not forget the backbone of these historic Everest expeditions, the Sherpas. These indigenous people of the Himalayas possess unparalleled knowledge of the mountains and have been instrumental in the success of numerous climbers. Their strength, courage, and resilience in the face of unimaginable challenges have earned them a well-deserved reputation as the unsung heroes of Everest. As we continue our journey, we'll explore the evolving relationship between Everest and the people who attempt to conquer it. In the decades following the first ascent, climbers from various nations flocked to the mountain, driven by a sense of adventure, competition, and national pride. Among the notable achievements were the first American ascent in 1963, the first ascent by a woman, Junko Tabei, in 1975, and the first ascent without supplemental oxygen by Reinhold Messner and Peter Habler in 1978. These mountaineering milestones, however, came at a price. As the number of climbers increased, so did the death toll. The harsh conditions on Everest, including freezing temperatures, hurricane-force winds, and altitude sickness, have claimed the lives of over 300 people. The 1996 disaster, in which 8 climbers perished in a single day, brought the dangers of Everest to the forefront of public consciousness. Now, let's pause for a moment and consider the environmental impact of these human endeavors. As more and more climbers attempted to scale Everest, the once pristine slopes became littered with discarded oxygen bottles, food wrappers, and other waste. In response to this growing problem, various cleanup initiatives have been launched to preserve the mountain's fragile ecosystem. But what does the future hold for Mount Everest? In recent years, the commercialization of the mountain has led to concerns about overcrowding, with climbers queuing for hours in the dangerous death zone above 26,000 feet. This influx of climbers has prompted calls for stricter regulations and limits on the number of permits issued each year. Moreover, climate change poses a significant threat to Everest and the entire Himalayan region. As temperatures rise, glaciers are melting at an alarming rate, leading to unpredictable avalanches and landslides. These changes not only endanger climbers but also threaten the livelihoods of the Sherpa communities who rely on the mountains for their survival. So, as we reach the summit of our journey, it's time to reflect on the captivating history of Mount Everest. From the early explorers to the modern-day mountaineers, the mountain has been a source of awe, inspiration, and tragedy. As we look to the future, it's crucial that we strive to preserve Everest's natural beauty and cultural heritage for generations to come. In the words of Sir Edmund Hillary, "It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves." As we descend from the heights of this timeless saga, let us remember the lessons of courage, resilience, and respect for nature that Everest has taught us. Until our next adventure, stay curious, and keep exploring the fascinating pages of history. That's all for today's episode of Timeless Sagas. If you enjoyed this journey through the history of Mount Everest, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more captivating stories from our past. And don't forget to share your thoughts and favorite historical moments in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the timeless tales of our shared human experience.